gone, man.
We are approaching the anniversary of the most life-altering event of our generation's history. 5 years after 9/11, we have President Bush declaring his foreign policy all center around 9/11. But 5 years to the date, Osama bin Laden has not been indicted for these crimes. He was not named in the case. 5 years later, everything we've done over in Afghanistan and Iraq, what we're going to be doing in Iran, is all in an effort supposedly to take out bin Laden. But we're not even going to indict him because, hey, there's just so much other stuff they can indict him with. We don't need to put the crimes, the tragic crimes he committed on 9/11. We don't need to put that and charge him with that because there's just so much other stuff we can use. The government and the media give us nothing further. The Pentagon, we've still never seen a plane get into the Pentagon, not 5 years later. All we've had in 5 years is 5 frames. No plane, no evidence. We have a 9/11 commission. What has been resolved from this 9/11 commission? Absolutely nothing. And all for President Bush and his 9/11, 9/11, 9/11 agenda. The media are Bush's biggest allies in spreading this ignorance amongst our people. In 5 years, we've seen nothing. We've seen almost nothing from the media. But times are changing, folks. 5 years after these tragic events, 5 years of people coming together and searching out for the truth, seeking out the truth, going for the real evidence. Things are starting to turn around, folks. Last month, we had C-SPAN cover the 9/11 Truth Symposium in Los Angeles, hosted by Alex Jones. And just this week, in Albany's Metroland, cover story, folks, just in time for the anniversary. Cover story. Dylan Avery, 9/11, loose change. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google loose change. Tonight, we begin our 8-part expose of what really happened on 9/11. Tonight, we talk about Building 7.
Now, here we're going to show you a videotape of the collapse itself.
Describe that.
Now we go to videotape, the collapse of this building.
It's amazing.
Amazing, incredible, pick your word. For the third time today, it's reminiscent of those pictures we've all seen too much on television before when a building was deliberately destroyed by well-placed dynamite to knock it down.
Building 7 was a 47-story building that collapsed at 5 p.m. on the day of 9/11. Most people don't really remember about Building 7. And it's not surprising not a lot of people remember Building 7, as we'll get to later. But if you look at the images, the few images that were captured on that day, you can clearly see that Building 7 went down in a free-fall collapse. No doubt about it, it's even been backed up by people in the scientific community. Also, from the footage of Building 7 collapsing, you can see the crimp in the middle of the building, which certainly suggests controlled, pre-planned demolition. They said the building came down from fires. It was fires that took its toll on the building, and within hours the building just collapsed, sure. But no modern steel structure has ever collapsed due to fire. And let me remind you, folks, no plane hit Building 7. No plane hit the building. The local radio came on the air that day in New York. And they suggested even, right there on the spot, it was a controlled demolition. And then, within a few months, on a PBS special called Rebuilding America, we have Larry Silverstein the owner of the World Trade Center complex, going on that show and admitting it, outright admitting it, that due to a tremendous loss of life, something or other, they had to pull the building. What did he mean by that? Who's to be the judge? Where to be the judge? And it's clear. It's right there in the open. Larry Silverstein, what else could he mean by pull it? It's no surprise that Larry Silverstein took out a record-setting insurance policy on the entire World Trade Center complex 2 months before, in July 2001. Now, I hate to steal his thunder, but tonight, this is the Truth Nazi, brought to you by Larry Silverstein, owner of the World Trade Center complex.
I remember getting